All right, ladies and gentlemen, we'll begin now. Over the 10 years of these conferences, we have been honored by literally hundreds of highly decorated veterans who have performed courageously in the service of our country. But I have to say, this is, for me, the high point of the entire 10 years. To have 6 recipients of the Medal of Honor with us at one time is a high privilege that comes along rarely in the life of anyone, and I feel very honored and privileged to be here. To introduce our panel, I'd like to bring to the podium Angelise Houston of Eastern High School. Angelise.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I am Cadet Captain Angelise Houston from Eastern Senior High School in Washington, D.C. On behalf of the American Veterans Center, it is my honor and privilege to introduce Valor, the Medal of Honor panel featuring Walter Ehlers, Bruce Crandall, Thomas Hudner, Bob Howard, Joe Sakato, and Michael Thornton. The moderator will be Nick Dale Calzo. Please welcome these great American heroes. Thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing the afternoon with us. My name is Nick Del Calzo. I'm creator and photographer of the Medal of Honor book, Medal of Honor, Portraits of Valor Beyond the Call of Duty. And I was so pleased and honored to have collaborated with the Congressional Medal of Honor Society on this an extraordinary project. But this afternoon, we have this very, very special panel of esteemed heroes to discuss and share their combat experience, respond to any questions you have. And I thought maybe I can just get things started with a couple of comments and a couple of quotes. Herbert Hoover said, "Older men declare war, but it is the youth that must fight and die, and it is the youth who must inherit the tribulation, the sorrow, and the triumphs that are the aftermath of war." But the irony is that these men before you did not set out what is often referred to as winning the Medal of Honor. You don't win it, you receive it. And only 3,400 or less than 3,450 have ever so received that distinguished award. Most, about half, are posthumously awarded. Rather, I'm sure that each man before you would say that they only hope that they would return to our soil from victory. It is said that our heroes inspire us to find new edges of our growth. We see in another man or woman the qualities and values we admire. We find our own best parts, perhaps partly hidden or undeveloped in the people we hold as heroes. Before you today are some of the best of the best, and now I have the distinct pleasure of introducing them to you. First is Bruce P. Crandall, Army Major, Company A, 229th Assault Helicopter Battalion, 1st Cavalry Division, Air Mobile. On 14 November 1965, Major Crandall was piloting one of 16 helicopters that were ferrying troops for a search and destroy mission in Plai My, Vietnam, to a landing zone in Ia Drang Valley. On the 4th troop left the helicopters and troops began taking on enemy fire. Major Crandall continued to fly into and out of the LZ throughout the day to deliver much needed supplies and as well as carrying out the wounded. In all, he completed a total of 22 flights, most under intense enemy fire, and on February 26, 2007, Bruce Crandall was awarded the Medal of Honor by President George W. Bush. Our next recipient is Walter D. Ehlers, Staff Sergeant, United States Army, 18th Infantry, 1st Infantry Division. After landing on Omaha Beach on D-Day, Sergeant Ehlers spent the next few days leading his platoon further inland, encountering heavy opposition all along the way. With their advance finally stalled under intense fire, Ehlers and one of his men provided cover for the retreating platoon by drawing fire on themselves. Both men were wounded, but Ehlers less so. In the midst of an enemy barrage, he dragged his critically wounded comrade to relative safety. For his action, Sergeant Ehlers received the Medal of Honor on December 19th, 1944, and it was, Walt, it was not President Roosevelt, it was
President Roosevelt, awarded by General John C.H. Lee
Okay, thank you.
in behalf of Congress.
On behalf of Congress, that's correct. The next recipient is Robert L. Howard, Sergeant First Class, United States Army, 5th Special Forces, Group Airborne, 1st Special Forces. On December 28, 1968, Sergeant First Class Howard and the rest of his platoon were coptered into to locate and rescue a wounded Green Beret. Instead, they encountered more than 200 North Vietnamese. Before the fighting was over, he and his fellow soldiers were rescued. 3 days had elapsed. He was wounded twice, and he would have neutralized countless enemy soldiers. After having been recommended for the Medal of Honor on 2 previous occasions for different actions, Sergeant Howard was finally awarded the Medal of Honor by President Nixon on March 2nd, 1971, after 5 tours of duty. Our next recipient is Thomas J. Hudner, Jr., Lieutenant Junior Grade, United States Navy, Fighter Squadron 32, USS Lady. On December 4th, 1950, Lieutenant Hudner was piloting one of 6 F-4U Corsairs on a strafing mission in Korea when his wingman, Jesse Brown, was hit by enemy fire, necessitating a wheels-up landing in the snow. The crash critically wounded his fellow pilot, who was still alive at the time. Knowing that he would be denied permission to land and offer assistance to the downed pilot, Lieutenant Hudner crash-landed his plane anyway. Unfortunately, the pilot died before he could be freed from the wreckage and rescued. For Lieutenant Hudner's loyalty and willingness to go far beyond the call of duty, he was awarded the Medal of Honor by President Truman on April 13th, 1951. George Sakato, George T. Joe Sakato, Private United States Army, Company E, 442nd Regimental Combat Team. On October 29, 1944, Private Sakato and his fellow soldiers were ordered to flank a group of German soldiers on a hillside near the German border. In the midst of heavy exchanges, Sakato neutralized a dozen German soldiers and managed to help capture nearly 3 dozen more. He would later be wounded in a separate incident that required him to be hospitalized for nearly a year. On June 21, the year 2000, President Clinton awarded Private Sakato the Medal of Honor. Michael E. Thornton, Petty Officer, United States Navy, Navy Advisory Group. On October 31st, 1972, as the Vietnam War was winding down, Thornton, a Navy SEAL, with a small group of other SEALs, were on a reconnaissance mission. After missing their target area, they were engaged by a regiment of enemy soldiers. It was then that he and 2 fellow SEALs were wounded. Nevertheless, Thornton carried one fellow SEAL and helped another to the water, where he swam for more than 2 hours to safety, keeping his wounded comrades alive the entire time.